Televised political debates are unique communication events, right? It's not like watching a basketball game.
Is this the dagger?
Right, there's a ref, there's a scoreboard, everyone knows who won. Now, we don't have that in political debate. Maybe it'd be better if we did, but we don't have that. The key thing is, don't think in terms of who won and who lost. I think that's the wrong framework. Though, to be honest, is probably the framework you're going to hear the most on television.
Tonight, round one.
This is going to be a clash of big personalities.
The presidential candidates clashing.
Too many insults, and he could come off like a bully. Too few specifics, and he could seem unprepared.
Now, why would I say that winning-losing is the wrong framework for a debate? Because there are no established criteria for picking winners and losers in presidential debates or in any type of televised debate. So I would say what you want to do is watch the debates in terms of self-interest. What can the debates do for you, right? It can help you better understand the issues. It can help you see which candidate best aligns with your concerns. It can help you identify where your own positions are strong or where they're weak. Right? Debate's a tool for learning. It's a way to open minds. It's not a tool to defend closed minds. This means that you should watch the entire debate. Okay? There is a big difference between watching an entire debate and watching the 2-minute morning news story about it the next day.
Our powerhouse political team is covering all the angles this morning.
Romney seemed more polished. The president last night seemed tired and bored.
If you watch the entire debate, you can see how the positions are defended and attacked and critiqued, how they respond to one another. If you just watch that 2-minute segment summary, you're only going to see clips of a few zingers from the debate the previous night.
Mr. President, have you looked at your pension?
You know, I don't look at my pension. It's not as big as yours, so it doesn't take as long.
Let me give you some.
And those zingers may not have had any effect on how the candidates actually defended their positions. So let me give you an example. I love boxing, all right? I love boxing. You need to watch the entire fight in order to understand and appreciate it, right? 2 or 3 big punches from 12 rounds of boxing, that's not the entire fight. Okay, you need to watch the whole thing. So let's say now you've carved out 90 minutes to watch the debate. What are you going to do now? Well, I would say first off, take notes. And I know, right, I know it's starting to sound like homework, but it's not that bad, okay? Taking debate notes isn't hard, but it is essential to sort of tracking the flow of the debate. A lot of information is going to come at you in 90 minutes, and you need some way of capturing all those ideas in a useful format. When you're taking notes, you want to pay special attention to claims and clash. In competitive debate, we'd call this type of note-taking flowing. Flow can give you insight into a debate that you might not otherwise have. You want your notes to capture the claims, right? You need to identify when the candidate makes a claim. Now, a claim is simply an assertion that the speaker wants the audience to take as valid. So let's say, for example, candidate A says, well, we need to hire more K-12 teachers. Okay, that's a claim, right? So you just jot it down. All right, increase K-12 teachers. Now that you've got that, you can list any evidence for why that increase is needed. And if there isn't any evidence forthcoming, well, then it's not really a great argument. Okay, it's not necessarily a wrong argument, but it's one that really hasn't been made yet because there's no evidence. You also want your notes to track the clash. So I would say one of the benefits of a debate is that you can begin to draw distinctions between the 2 candidates, 3 candidates, however many. Where do they agree? Where do they disagree? Again, your notes here should prove very helpful. So let's go back to that hypothetical situation. Candidate A said, hey, we need to hire more K-12 teachers. Okay, so then the moderator poses the exact same question to candidate B and presses them a bit. Says, do we need to hire K-12 teachers? Candidate B says, well, I think maybe we can do better by trimming some administrative oversight. Okay, well, you got to decide what you want to do with that. Does that constitute a no? And if it does, well, we've got a point of clash. Candidate A said hire more teachers, candidate B said no. But in that case also, candidate B probably didn't provide evidence. All that's information that you want to have. That's flowing. You're going to benefit a lot more from a debate if you take notes that help you capture the claims and track the clash. Flowing a debate makes it more interesting, it makes it more educational, and it can make it more frustrating. Because when you're tracking a debate in that way, you can see better what the candidates need to respond to, what they should be arguing or need to be arguing in order to be clear. Moderators often don't press candidates on these issues, right? They're not listening for these things. They've got, 5 other topics that they got to get to, so they just got to move on. And maybe that's where I'd like to conclude here. Watch these debates as a voter. Watch them as a citizen. Okay, the airways are going to be filled after a debate with people who watch the debates as a pundit.
The president won tonight. I don't think it changes the race much. It's still a 1 or 2 point race, but he won.
Right? Who's up today? Oh, candidate B's ahead by a nose.
Very clear from the very beginning that Governor Romney also reaching out directly to women voters who could make up the majority of the audience tonight.
Well, that's right. And what was
they're going to be like, how did candidates' answer on X affect their chances in District Y? That frame allows you to maintain coverage of what's now, in many cases, a year-long election season. But as viewers, we're not pundits. We're not calling the race. We're citizens. We're voters. Watch the debates in order to understand the issues and candidates so that you can make your best informed decision.